Welcome to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Buetel alongside the head coach for GCU men's basketball, Bryce Drew. And coach, 9-5 overall in the conference, 4 games remain overall, 3 of them on the road in a logjam Western Athletic Conference. What are your thoughts currently about your team?
Well, I think you 4-game stretch. It's important 4 games for us. We definitely want to have momentum, have a good rhythm, going into Las Vegas. So starting this Wednesday, we need to have a good game and try to carry that back into the last 3 at home.
Let's talk a little bit about the last game against New Mexico State, a tough one. Here's a team that, they're not notoriously three-point shooters, but they were hitting buckets, and unfortunately you guys came out of the gate a little bit cold.
We didn't shoot well, but that's a really good team, Barry. And, they have, Teddy Allen at 30 points against us is as good as offensive player as anyone in the country. It doesn't matter what conference you're in. And, we caught them on a hot day. We beat them 3 times last year, and they came in like they practiced all summer for that game in our home arena, and I think they played their best game of the year against us.
And the game before that was a 5-point victory against California Baptist. Kind of alternated wins and losses here. I'm sure you're looking for some consistency down the stretch.
No question. And with 4 left, it is the final stretch, and some teams are out of gas at this point. Some teams, get a freshness and a rejuvenation like the start of the preseason, and that's what we're hoping for. We had a really good practice. We got back to some basic, habits that we want within our program, and defensively, offensively, and we're excited to get back out after that last game and hopefully play better.
We've talked a little bit about getting some additional scoring from the likes of not only Holland Woods and Javon Blacksher. In that California Baptist game, Sean Miller-Moore gets his first career double-double. So you're looking for guys like Sean Miller-Moore, Gabe McLaughlin to step up in the scoring numbers.
No question. And, as, Lopes fans have seen us play all year, when we do get that third score, it's really, really good for our team. When we get a 4th double-figure score, then, again, those games, we've been really good throughout the year. So the key is definitely getting more guys involved. And, as a coaching staff, I can do a better job trying to, have confidence in other guys to get them more shots. And then hopefully when they get them, they'll knock them down.
Jumping back to that New Mexico State game, there was poor shooting in the opening half, but the second half a bit of a different story. You try to pull some of the positives out. You went on a 6-0 run. You got the game down to 8. A layup by Holland Woods would have made it 6. They come back. They went on a run and kind of took it over from there. But you did battle back. You showed a little bit of adversity.
Basketball is such a game of momentum, and we had all the momentum going, and I had to rewatch that layup a couple times. I rewound it because I was like, he was wide open, and I know Holland wishes he had that one back, because if he would have made that, it'd have been fun to see how the trajectory of the game would have gone from there, because that would have cut it to 6. They probably would have called timeout because you couldn't even hear in the building when that layup was going up, and it'd been really fun to come out of there and have a little pressure on them. But I think they scored 5 points in the next 30 seconds, and they were right back to that cushion, that they were used to.
You mentioned you couldn't hear in the building at GCU Arena. I mean, the atmosphere, we've talked about it a lot, but that place was rocking on Saturday.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it played into some of our shooting early in the game, because we had some really good looks and guys were missing really long, and sometimes you get that with the adrenaline rush, and for most of our players besides Javon, that was their first time playing, against New Mexico State at home. And so, experience is really important, and experience in situations, and Javon was the only one in that situation, which gives us guys, for the future, hopefully they'll be a lot more comfortable and shoot better in that type of atmosphere.
Is that a bit of a double-edged sword? Because you guys go into California Baptist, they got the 2 shirts laid out, you're going into, in that same type of environment, and it's got to kind of amp up your players to kind of knock off a team in this building, and then they come in here, and here's a experienced New Mexico State team that wants to silence the crowd.
Correct. I think when you compare basketball and life, again, there's just so many things. To win a championship, you have to go through a lot of different, mentalities. You have to go into the environment where there's the beat GCU shirts everywhere, and you got to go in that, hey, it's only us and everyone's against us. Then you come here and it's like everyone's for us. We got to control our emotions. We got to play under control. We got to stay focused. And so, it's a great learning process. But again, I think the mental process of them learning all these environments, helps us in the future, but also again helps them in their life, because they're going to be in good environments, bad environments. They have to be able to control and stay focused.
You've had alternated wins and losses with these final 4 games. Chicago State, a team that you've won previously. You've got a matchup with Sam Houston State, a team that's ahead of you in battling in that final positioning. Utah Valley, and then close out against Dixie State, a team that shocked you guys by 61-60 earlier.
Yeah, obviously that's a game we wish we could have back at the end there, and they just beat Utah Valley, so another really good win for them. And our conference, to give you a perspective, last year I want to say we were in the mid to high 20s ranked, and this year we're ranked 14th best conference in the country. So we've doubled, improved on that and gotten that much better than we were last year. And I think a big reason is a lot of teams we're playing, you see the same names in the starting lineup. You'll see 3 of them or 4 of them, and that makes a big difference when you have that continuity and those guys back.
Coming up, lots of sports are just starting their spring seasons, while others are garnering championships. We go around GCU next.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky. Where am I going? I don't know. You take me for what I am. Love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches. With tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time. Just like you like it.
With over 6,000 animals and tons of roaring rides, you'll find a million reasons to smile at Wildlife World Zoo. Explore an aquarium, meet exotic animals, and set out on a safari all in one day. Route 303 in the West Valley.
Nice and wild. It's a wildlife world.
Center Court with the Lopes is presented by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. And also brought to you by Cox Business. We take a look at the upcoming schedule around GCU. Baseball travels to UC Irvine for a 3-game series starting on Friday. Softball hosts the Lopes Up Classic Friday and Saturday. All those games can be streamed on ESPN+. Then women's golf hosts their GCU Invitational on February 28th. Lots of events taking place at GCU, so come on out and enjoy the fun. Some WAC championships are also coming up. The swimming and diving team heads to Houston as they try to make a splash in the conference. And a quick shout out to the track and field teams for winning another pair of indoor championships. The men have now won their 6th straight, and the women came back from down 40 points, pulling out the overall victory in their final event. It was their 5th indoor title in the last 6 years. Congratulations to both the men and the women. Coming up, her squad is one of the top teams in the WAC. What does Molly Miller want to see from her team down the stretch?
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. Huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food. And everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Across a painted desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford
country. The future of exhilaration is here. Be the talk of the town in your new Mustang Mach-E. 0 to 60 thrills, expansive range with 0 emissions. The new Mustang Mach-E is in stock now at Arizona's largest Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford.
We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Sign up, drive up, wash and go. Unlimited washes with our monthly plans. Visit superstarcarwashaz.com today.
It's time to take a look at the women's WAC conference standings. GCU finds themselves in a great spot for tournament seeding as they sit at number 2, just behind undefeated Stephen F. Austin. California Baptist is number 3, with Abilene Christian and Utah Valley rounding out the top 5.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Buetel alongside the head coach for GCU women's basketball, Molly Miller. And Coach, you've won 3 in a row, 5 of the last 6. You're 11-3 in the conference. You're in sole possession of second place. You feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I do. This team has come a long way, and we've scrapped through some wins. We've had some ugly ones. We've had some good ones. Now I think the name of the game is consistency. You know, it's a short season, but a long season. You know, these games are so important here coming down the stretch that we're really excited to hopefully play our best basketball.
Let's travel back a couple of games and a season sweep over California Baptist. Impressive 20-point win, 75-55. 3 players in double-digit scoring. Have to be pleased with that you're getting some quality scoring from some of those that you expect to score, like the Amara Grahams of the world.
Yeah, the team played well, and it's good to see that, and that's a really good win. A couple of wins against Cal Bap. Obviously, they won the conference last year, and making it to that conference championship game, I think we carried that with us in those games, and we really responded well and played well and executed a great game plan. So I think that gives us a lot of confidence knowing that we can beat and compete with these top teams in the conference.
Yeah, a little bit of everything because it was a completely different game against New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Whereas a 3-point victory for you guys, you really had to gut that one out and play really, really tenacious D.
Yeah, little to be desired on the offensive end from both teams. So it was kind of a defensive drag out, and I feel good when our team has to rely on our defense, but we're going to need to make more shots down the stretch here in February and early March. But again, those are good preparation for games that are going to be close this time of year. How can you find a way to persevere and pull one out?
Amara Graham, Tiara, and Tiana Brown, they contribute 35 of the 46 points, and it goes back to that you're getting some scoring from people that you need in that particular case.
Yeah, it's nice to see, especially Tiana coming off the bench. She's been a big spark for us, and that's kind of why we've had her as that 6th-man role coming off and giving us some offensive power. And then AG is going to be reliable. It's nice to see her first couple shots go down. When we see that first one go down, we're all kind of breath and sigh of relief, like the lid's off the basket for her, and she's having confidence, and it opens up our offense a lot better. And then Tiara, you know, she can do it a multitude of ways, from her rebounding, from her offense, from her defense. So really excited to see some players being able to step up in big moments.
You out-rebounded the WAC rebounding leader, Jay McChristine, leading the way as well. So when you need it on the boards as well, you'll find it.
We've talked about rebounding so much. I mean, that's how you're going to get extra possessions and finish a good defensive possession. So rebounding's really been kind of a forefront of our focus. And then going into these next 2 games, it's going to be big too. These are 2, Chicago State and Sam Houston. They like to get in a track meet and rebound. So we've got to play at our pace and be able to finish a possession with a rebound.
You mentioned the Cougars from Chicago State here Thursday night, a game you can watch on Fox 10 Extra. Channel 45, Cable 9, and that'll be a good one. They will be running and gunning for you guys.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're not kind of the Chicago State of the past. They've got some pieces. They've got a really nice freshman that leads that team, and it's going to be our senior night, so hopefully we can channel those emotions in the right direction. We've got a lot of seniors that we're going to be honoring, and it's our last home game, so we'd love to see a good Lopes showing to support our seniors and give us one more hurrah before our home season ends here.
Amara, Kennedy Shorts, Taylor Caldwell, Deja Jackson, Tiana Brown, Jay McChristine, and Chloe Tico, that's a pretty long list of seniors. You're going to lose a lot of players.
It is. Half our team bails on us.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're kind of taking over a program and they didn't really have a freshman incoming class, your classes are a little unbalanced. And then with the portal and our grad transfers coming in. So we're going to miss them for sure, but glad that we get to honor them on Thursday.
Up next, the Junior Lopes Club drew pictures of men's basketball players. We put the team to the test as they try to guess which teammate it is.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
The Grand Canyon University Championship Golf Course offers golfers some of the best greens in Arizona. The course features over 7,200 yards of tees and tree-lined fairways, signature par 3s, greenside bunkers, and a 22,000 square foot clubhouse. The Lopes House Restaurant, serving traditional American fare, is open to the public 7 days a week. Come experience the best golf and dining destination in the heart of Phoenix. Book your tee times at gcugolf.com.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Ooh, okay. See, I have a couple of ideas for this one, but I'm gonna have to go with Dima.
This one right here is Jaden Stone. I think it's Jaden Stone.
Because the neck, long neck. Dima's the 7-footer on the team, so it's gotta be Dima.
I'm gonna say this is Tayshawn. You know, I can't really, I mean, it just kind of looks like Tayshawn.
Mind you, I ain't get one wrong yet.
Jaden, oh, I see it now. I do see it. The eyes give it away.
Got the nice hair, good ears, wearing a GCU jersey, so maybe Rafe? Jaden? Ooh.
Jeez, I might have to go with myself because they put the thing right here. Yeah.
It's actually Jaden.
Ah, okay.
Do you see it now?
I see it. The color made it more hard though. If I had some color on it, it would make it more hard. But overall, good drawing.
Okay, that's me. I think that's me, because I called the goatee and the mustache. I think KJM, you did a great job, bro. This has got to be me.
We take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Cox Business. It's the final 4 games of the regular season. The Lopes hit the road for their final road tilt of the year against Chicago State. Then they close out the season with 3 at home. On the 26th, it's Sam Houston State. Then on March 3rd, they take on defending WACCO champions, Utah Valley, before closing out the season with Dixie State on the 5th. Up next, how important are these last few games for the Lopes? Insider Paul Coro joins the show to discuss that, plus baseball's opening weekend.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Welcome to a sport of fitness. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 per month.
It's time for the Talking Stick Resort Play of the Week. Play in style.
Fly ball hit to center field and deep. Back goes Den Hartog. This ball is gone. A walk-off for Chapman. And the Lopes win it 8-7. How do you like that? What a game.
We take a look at the men's WAC conference standings. With 4 games remaining in the regular season, New Mexico State sits atop the conference. Seattle U and Sam Houston State are neck and neck at 12-3. Stephen F. Austin is currently in the 4th spot, with GCU rounding out the top 5. Abilene Christian and Utah Valley are just behind with a record of 8-6. Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes, presented by Talking Stick Resort. Barry Buetel alongside Lopes insider Paul Coro. And Paul, let's begin with men's basketball. 3 of the final 4 on their home court, home cooking. You're hoping that's a positive as they look for final seeding in the conference standings before the conference tournament in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the WAC has played out sort of as we expected, a lot tougher, a lot deeper, especially at the top. A lot of contenders who've had success that joined the conference, and we're seeing those teams mix up in the race. And so you're right, there's some jockeying here down the stretch. Seeding is really key in the WAC, and the Lopes really need to get into that top 4. Entering the week at number 5, but it's at the WAC tournament in Vegas, you get a bye into the quarterfinals for being in the top 4. Lopes are in a great position to do that, like you mentioned, with the home games, but also Sam Houston and SFA are in some positions where they've got a tougher schedule down the stretch here. They play each other. SFA goes to New Mexico State at the end. Sam Houston has to come here. So there's some potential losses for GCU to make it up if they run the table.
It really is an exciting seeding when you think about it. It makes the regular season a little bit more on the line here down the stretch.
Yeah, every game's felt critical. Whether it be a tough road loss. There's been some 1-2 point losses for the Lopes that really swing things right now. You want to be playing your best basketball, as Bryce Drew always says, going into Vegas. Here's an opportunity to do that with, like you mentioned, the home schedule. They've only lost twice at home all season. Still got to lean into that and this crowd and what a difference it makes. But we saw last year, they kind of clicked right at the end of the season and got on that roll at Vegas.
Well, right now their current status a little uneasy after a tough loss to New Mexico State.
Yeah, they ran into a buzzsaw that night. That was as well as the Aggies have played all season against anybody. They're not a great perimeter shooting team, and certainly the Lopes want to defend the 3 better than they did. They'd been number 2 in the nation for 3-point defense. That night, New Mexico State, a team that averages 7 threes a game and shoots 32% from threes, was just lights out. 7 of 10 on threes in the first half, and that really dug a hole for the Lopes to get out of. Played a little bit better offensively as the game went in, but the Aggies had so many guys step up on that night, especially Teddy Allen. I think he was a motivated guy. First chance for him to play in his hometown, and he certainly showed up.
Hard to argue that he's not the front runner for Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's pretty clear at this point, I think.
The women, a different story. I mean, here's the winners of 3 in a row, 5 of their last 6. They are in sole possession of second place. Their position right now, albeit they have 3 of their final 4 on the road to lock in that number 2 spot, which would be critical.
Yeah, they weren't leaving anything to doubt with the tiebreakers this season. Took care of business.
Yeah.
Swept CBU. That was a big win when they went to Riverside, made a stand up coming back, and they're pulling out tight games. Just went to New Mexico State and pulled out a tight one, and the defense continues to harass everyone and be among the nation leaders in steals and turnovers forced. But now they're getting different people to step up offensively. Amara Graham, since conference play started, her 3-point shooting has been phenomenal. There's 4 games where she's hit 5 or 6 3-pointers in a game, and We see how that kind of energizes the whole team. But then they've had other people step up. Jay McChristine's a good post player. Dom Phillips gives them that inside and out threat. And then Tiana Brown comes off the bench and hits 8 threes in a game. So it just shows it can come from anywhere on them.
Let's talk a little bit about GCU athletics in general. How about men's and women's indoor track and field? Another conference title for Coach Flood.
Yeah, and it's become a regular thing, but this, again, with the expanded conference and programs like SFA, Stephen F. Austin's been so strong in track, at a national level in recent years. So it's a real credit to Tom Flood and his staff for what they've done to do that on both sides. They were not the favorite on both sides going in and had to make up some ground on the last day to do so, but they have some people that are operating at a national level with what they're doing out there. And, whether it be Israel in the weight throw or Ethan Harris at the high jump, people are, they have freshmen of the years and just a lot of, it's a deep effort too. In track, you get so many points from the guy, not only the people that win events, but the depth is what really does it, and that's what Tom Flood's created.
Baseball and softball also opening up their seasons. Baseball drops 2 of 3 against Nevada. Andy gets tossed in game 3. A little bit of emotion there, but the team rallies behind that and they pick up that win in the finale.
Yeah, you can see, one, how well he knows his team, what they need, and how well they respond to him. And they were not going to let him go out on a, we'll say, unfair call and ejection. And they scored 11 unanswered runs once Stankiewicz got ejected. First time he's ever been tossed in 11 years in a home game. And I think that found out what Andy's trigger point is. But also the team played up to its potential after that. And, there was losing that series, of course, is disappointing. Nevada's also a tournament team, a much more veteran lineup. So the pitching learned something from that. But really the series could have gone either way. It was a 2-1 series. And one play swung the opening night game, so I think they still draw a lot of great pitching efforts too throughout it, whether it was Eli Acme on the Sunday game, 2 2/3, just throwing smoke. Opening night, really encouraging to see what Nick Hull did, and then the freshman from down the street, Daniel Avidia, comes in and doesn't look like a freshman at all, just popping it in there for 4 innings.
And quick note on Shannon Hayes, they're off to an 8-3 start at softball.
Yeah, that's an exciting program because they've got really strong returnees, and then they've brought in a bunch of new players with experience from all different levels, whether it be Power Fives or a player like Caitlin Dunkel that came with him from his program at Oklahoma Christian, and they've hit the ground running right away. And I think the star of the whole thing has to be Danae Chapman. She can really pop it. She's got on pace for a major home run season. The graduate transfer from ASU who plays first base, and but they play an exciting style. They're hitting the bases run all the time. Gianna Nicoletti's among the nation's leaders in stolen bases.
Well, there's a ton going on, as you can see. My thanks to Paul Coro, and my thanks to Coaches Miller and Coach Drew as well. And my thanks to you for tuning in to Center Court with the Lopes.